Failure is not the end, the story of Ella. In a quiet, peaceful village where rice fields stretched endlessly like green carpets, there lived a 16-year-old girl named Ella. Born into a humble family, Ella grew up surrounded by birdsong, the whisper of the wind, and the unconditional love of her grandmother, the woman she respected more than anyone. Ella was a hardworking girl. Every day, she woke up early, studied under a flickering oil lamp, and wrote each word carefully with trembling, tired hands. But no matter how hard she tried, she always ended up failing. Her classmates seemed to soar effortlessly, scoring high, earning praise, and being called up on stage. Ella, on the other hand, only ever received rejection letters, pitiful glances, and whispers behind her back. With every failure, her dream of making her family proud slipped further and further away. That afternoon, Ella sat alone in the backyard, silently staring at the stack of rejection letters in her hand. Her eyes were red, and her heart felt heavier than ever. Her grandmother walked over, said nothing at first, and then gently placed a warm, wrinkled hand on Ella's shoulder. "Ella," she said softly, "come take a walk with me." The two of them walked side by side in silence. They followed a narrow path that led to the edge of the village, to an old tree with wide, sprawling branches that had shaded Ella's childhood for years. Her grandmother stopped, looked up at the aging leaves, and then began to speak, her voice calm and deep. "When I was your age, I too faced failures that felt unbearable." Ella looked up at her, surprised. She had never imagined her grandmother, always so strong, wise, and composed, had once felt defeated too. "I once dreamed of becoming a doctor, you know?" her grandmother continued. "Back then, our family was very poor. Going to school was a luxury. But I believed that if I tried hard enough, I could change my life, maybe even help the people in our village who were suffering from illness. I studied day and night, passed my exams, and went to the city to apply to medical school." There was a pause. Her grandmother took a deep breath, as if swallowing the emotion still lingering from the past. "And I failed. I failed the most important exam of my life. I walked home with that failure in my hand, crying the entire way. I was so ashamed, I couldn't even look my parents in the eye. In the city, people laughed at me. A girl from the countryside, trying to be a doctor?" Ella clenched the paper in her hand. She saw her grandmother, young and heartbroken, returning from the city with shattered dreams, and realized just how much their stories mirrored each other. "But you know what?" Her grandmother's voice softened. "That day, my father, your great-grandfather, said something that changed everything for me. Failure is not falling down. Failure is when you refuse to get back up." The words lit a spark in Ella. She looked at her grandmother as if seeing a door slowly opening in her own heart. "I went back to the city and tried again. I failed, then tried again, and failed again. But each time I failed, I learned something. I figured out what I'd done wrong. I changed the way I studied, the way I thought, even the way I saw the world. In the end, I didn't become a doctor, but I became a nurse. I helped people in ways I had never imagined. And most importantly, I never gave up on myself." Ella stood still. The wind blew gently, carrying with it the scent of grass and a storm of emotion. Her grandmother turned to her, gently cupping Ella's face in her weathered hands. "My dear, failure is not a sign of weakness. It's proof that you are still trying. The only true failure is when you stop. When you stop learning, stop growing, stop trying, that is when you fail." Tears welled up in Ella's eyes, but this time, they weren't tears of defeat. They were tears of release, of realization, of a new hope blooming where hopelessness had taken root. She no longer looked at the rejection letters as death sentences. She saw them as lessons, stepping stones on the path to becoming the person she was meant to be. Each one was teaching her something she hadn't mastered yet, a chance to rise stronger. Grandmother and granddaughter walked back together. The golden sunset bathed the village path in warm light, and for the first time in a long while, Ella walked with her head held high. The road ahead would still be challenging, but she now carried within her the most powerful weapon of all, unwavering perseverance. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning for those who dare to learn, to rise, and to keep moving forward. Every fall is an invitation to grow. And as long as you never stop trying, you have never truly failed.